So in short, the international community has made it harder than ever. For terrorists to acquire nuclear weapons, and that has made us all safer. We're building an international architecture that can ensure nuclear safety. But we're under no illusions. We know that nuclear material enough for many weapons, is still being stored without adequate protection. And we know that terrorists and criminal gangs are still trying to get their hands on it, as well as radioactive material for a dirty bomb. We know that just the smallest amount of plutonium, about the size of an apple, could kill hundreds of thousands and spark a global crisis. The danger of nuclear terrorism remains one of the greatest threats to global security. And that's why here in Seoul, we need to keep at it. And I believe we will. We're expecting dozens of nations to announce over the next several days that they fulfilled the promises they made 2 years ago. And we're now expecting more commitments tangible. Concrete action to secure nuclear materials and, in some cases, remove them completely. This is the serious, sustained global effort that we need. And it's an example of more nations bearing the responsibility and the costs of meeting global challenges. This is how the international community should work in the 21st century. And Korea is one of the key leaders in this process. The United States will continue to do our part, securing our own material and helping others protect theirs. We're moving forward with Russia to eliminate enough plutonium for about 17 000 nuclear weapons and turn it instead into electricity. I can announce today a new agreement by the United States and several European partners toward sustaining the supply of medical isotopes that are used to treat cancer and heart disease without the use of highly enriched uranium. And we will work with industry and hospitals and research centers in the United States and around the world. To recover thousands of unneeded radiological materials so that they can never do us harm. Now, American leadership has been essential to progress in a second. Area taking concrete steps towards a world without nuclear weapons. As a party to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. This is our obligation, and it's one that I take very seriously. But I believe the United States has a unique responsibility to act. Indeed, we have a moral obligation. I say this as president of the only nation ever to use nuclear weapons. I say it as a commander-in-chief who knows that our nuclear codes are never far from my side. Most of all, I say it as a father, who wants my two young daughters to grow. Up in a world where everything they know and love can't be instantly wiped out. Over the past 3 years, we've made important progress. With Russia, we're now reducing our arsenal under the New START Treaty. The most comprehensive arms control agreement in nearly 20 years. And when we're done, we will have cut American and Russian deployed nuclear warheads to their lowest levels since the 1950s. As president, I changed our nuclear posture to reduce the number and role of nuclear weapons in our national security strategy. I made it clear that the United States will not develop new nuclear warheads. And we will not pursue new military missions for nuclear weapons. We've narrowed the range of contingencies under which we would ever use or threaten to use nuclear weapons. At the same time, I've made it clear that so long as nuclear weapons exist, we'll work with our Congress to maintain a safe, secure, and effective arsenal that guarantees the defense. Not only of the United States but also our allies including South Korea and Japan. My administration's nuclear posture recognizes that the massive nuclear arsenal we inherited from the Cold War is poorly suited to today's threats, including nuclear terrorism. So last summer, I directed my national security team to conduct a comprehensive study. Of our nuclear forces. That study is still underway. But even as we have more work to do, we can already say with confidence that we have more nuclear weapons than we need. Even after New START, the United States will still have more than 1,500 deployed nuclear weapons. And some 5,000 warheads. I firmly believe that we can ensure the security of the United States and our allies. Maintain a strong deterrent against any threat, and still pursue further reductions in our nuclear arsenal. Going forward, we'll continue to seek discussions with Russia on a step we have never taken before. Reducing not only our strategic nuclear warheads, but also tactical weapons and warheads in reserve. I look forward to discussing this agenda with President Putin when we will meet in May. Missile defense will be on the agenda, but I believe this should be an area of cooperation, not tension. And I'm confident that, working together, we can continue to make progress and reduce our nuclear stockpiles. Of course, we'll consult closely with our allies every step of the way. Because the security and defense of our allies, both in Europe and Asia, is not negotiable. Here in Asia, we've urged China with its growing nuclear arsenal to join us in a dialogue on nuclear issues. That offer remains open. And more broadly, my administration will continue to pursue ratification of the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. And after years of delay, it's time to find a path forward on a new treaty that verifiably ends the production of fissile materials for nuclear weapons, ends it once and for all. By working to meet our responsibilities as a nuclear power. We've made progress in a third area, strengthening the global regime that prevents the spread of nuclear weapons. When I came into office, the cornerstone of the world's effort which is the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, was fraying. Iran had started spinning thousands of centrifuges. North Korea conducted another nuclear test. And the international community was largely divided on how to respond. Over the past 3 years, we have begun to reverse that dynamic. Working with others, we've enhanced the global partnership that prevent proliferation. The International Atomic Energy Agency is now conducting the strongest inspections ever. And we've upheld the basic bargain of the NPT, countries with nuclear weapons. Like the United States and Russia, will move towards disarmament. Countries without nuclear weapons will not acquire them, and all countries can have access to peaceful nuclear energy. Because of these efforts, the international community is more united. And nations that attempt to flout their obligations are more isolated. Of course, that includes North Korea. Here in Korea, I want to speak directly to the leaders in Pyongyang. The United States has no hostile intent toward your country. We are committed to peace. And we are prepared to take steps to improve relations. Which is why we have offered nutritional aid to North Korean mothers and children. But by now it should be clear, your provocations and pursuit of nuclear weapons have not achieved the security you seek, they have undermined it. Instead of the dignity you desire, you're more isolated. Instead of earning the respect of the world, you've been met with strong sanctions and condemnation. You can continue down the road you are on, but we know where that leads. It leads to more of the same, more broken dreams, more isolation. Ever more distance between the people of North Korea and the dignity and the opportunity that they deserve. And know this, there will be no rewards for provocations. Those days are over. To the leaders of Pyongyang I say, this is the choice before you. This is the decision that you must make. Today we say, Pyongyang, have the courage to pursue peace and give a better life to the people of North Korea. This same principle applies with respect to Iran. Under the NPT, Iran has the right to peaceful nuclear energy. In fact, time and again the international community, including the United States, has offered to help Iran develop nuclear energy peacefully. But time and again Iran has refused, instead taking the path of denial, deceit, and deception. And that is why Iran also stands alone, as the only member of the NPT unable to convince the international community that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes, the only member. That's why the world has imposed unprecedented sanctions, slowing Iran's nuclear program. The international community is now poised to enter talks with Iran's leaders. Once again, there is the possibility of a diplomatic resolution that gives Iran access to peaceful nuclear energy while addressing the concerns of the international community. Today, I'll meet with the leaders of Russia and China as we work to achieve a resolution in which Iran fulfills its obligations. There is time to solve this diplomatically. It is always my preference to solve these issues diplomatically. But time is short. Iran's leaders must understand they, too, face a choice. Iran must act with the seriousness and sense of urgency that this moment demands. Iran must meet its obligations.